Heyo, Dekumon here, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. Last time, we got to see Fordola's past, and oh man, what a tragedy that was. Whew. And after that, well, we've been spending time with little Miss Nanamo here. Why? Well, she's a little worried about what Raubah's planning. If he's gonna go back to Alamigo, or stay here by her side, and honestly, I think he should go back to Alamigo. But Nanamo here's a little, well, lost without him, and she's trying to figure out what to do. All right, a Sultana's duty is next.
We must make haste. My absence will not go unnoticed by the Sultan Sworn for long, and there are other places I would visit. To the Azrith Ulshray.
The head of what? Where the hell am I going? Where am I going actually? Oh, the Thaumaturge Guild, okay. Wild looking ass statue there.
When the calamity threatened, Raubahn led the Alliance forces into battle on the plains of Cartano, and I remained here. I prayed with all my heart that Archon Louisoix would have the power to rouse the 12. Since that day, I have made a custom of visiting this shrine during each of my little excursions. Here, I seek a blessing of Thol, reflect upon my choices, and ask myself if I am fulfilling my duties as Sultana. You are rightly celebrated as a champion because you have led the line in 100 battles for the good of Eorzea. In much the same way, I believe the measure of a monarch lies in how she leads her people in times of adversary.
Adversary? Adversity, jeez.
If I am to be a Sultana worthy of the name, I cannot turn a blind eye to the troubles facing Ul'dah. I have chosen my path, Dekumon. With Alamigo now freed from Imperial chains, I finally see a way to aid the refugees.
By kicking them all out and sending them home.
Already, many displaced Alamigans seek to begin the long trek home. To facilitate that process, I have made a small contribution, an artisan school in Raucous Reach for any who wish to learn new trades. Realistically, however, it will take years for such training to yield tangible benefits.
I see somebody's planning something a little more substantial.
But we do not have years. These people will need shelter and employment if they are to survive, and this time, Ul'dah's treasury shall provide. Monetarists be damned. Precisely where and how to allocate the necessary funds is, of course, another question.
Might you ask a member of the syndicate for advice, like say Raubahn? Why not seek the advice of one who employs refugees? Interesting thought there. Though I'm hopefully not pointing him to Lolorito.
A wise suggestion. Mayhap a visit to the Gold Saucer is in order. Its proprietor is a member of the syndicate, and he is one of the few people who pay refugees a fair wage.
Godbert? Oh!
I wonder, are you acquainted with Godbert Mandeville?
Am I acquainted with Godbert Mandeville? I have watched him send his son flying into the stratosphere. So yes, I would say I am acquainted.
Then I need not explain his eccentric nature. Let us make our way to the landing, and I will see that word is sent to the Gold Saucer. Godbert should be only too glad to receive us.
You know, I don't think I've actually been to the Gold Saucer on this character. To gain access to the Gold Saucer, you must first accept or have previously completed the quest, It Could Happen to You. Available at level 15 in Ul'dah on the Steps of Nuln. Shoot! I haven't actually done that quest yet, so we're gonna have to make a small detour. This should be the quest right here, right? It Could Happen to You. Yep, this is the one.
Do be careful with those. Break anything, and I shall be forced to deduct it from your salary. Beg pardon? What is my loyal manservant carrying? Why, a not-so-small fortune in prizes, ably won by yours truly in the Gold Saucer. You have heard of the Gold Saucer? Nay? Ye gods, man! You might at least try to keep up with the times. It's only the Sultanate's newest and finest place of entertainment. Thrill to the sight of majestic birds roaring down the streets at the chocobo races. Pit your wits against your peers at the Triple Triad tables. At the Gold Saucer, one can do all this and more. And if you know what you're about, you'll walk out a wealthier man than you entered. If there's a better place to shake off one's cares after a grueling day of promenading, I've never heard of it. Did I mention that The female attendants are particularly easy on the eyes. Ah, but I dare say you'd rather discover them for yourself. Yes, I'll wager you're wondering just how, in Thor's good name, you can experience the wonders of the gold saucer firsthand. Am I right? Or am I right? I thought as much. Well, since this has been my lucky day, I don't see why it shouldn't be yours too. I just so happen to have a spare golden airship ticket, you see. Consider it a gift from one eligible young man about town to another. Just show this ticket to the lovely girl in the uniform over at the landing, and you'll have a seat on the next airship bound for revelry and riches. Be fairly warned, though. You may expect no mercy from me should our paths cross at the triple triad tables. Nay, not so much as an ons.
Oh my goodness. I was having a little too much fun with that voice. Well, now that I've accepted the quest, I should be able to do this with Nanamo.
I've ridden aboard a public airship before, but this should be my first visit to the Gold Saucer. I must confess to some excitement.
And my first visit too, to be honest.
This is the reception desk for flights bound for the Mandeville Gold Saucer. Before proceeding, I must ask that you submit your ticket for inspection. You do have a ticket, yes?
Yes, I do. Here, have it.
It appears that everything is in order. Go figure. An airship will be departing shortly before the next bell. Shall I reserve a seat for you?
Yes, I would like to go to the Gold Saucer. A fancy cutscene? I was not expecting a fancy cutscene. Whoa. I forgot what this place looked like from the outside. Holy cow. Dang. Okay, no, this is definitely Godbert's place. The good old Gold Saucer. Many an hour has been whiled away on the main character in this place. Thankfully, I will keep my distractions to a minimum on this character. Otherwise, we could be here all year. Very cute. Very cute. Ah, yes, and of course the little sabotenders wandering around, doing themselves a mini Manderville dance. Ah, the Gold Saucer. It's basically just a giant-ass casino. Lots of stuff to do, lots of distractions. There we are. Officially completed that little quest. The Manderville Gold Saucer now accessible. And of course, we're already here. There we are. Ah, yes, the Manderville Gold Saucer. Plenty of things to do. Plenty of things to do. Now, thankfully, I do not need this particular quest. It's basically the guide quest. Not all that interested at the moment. More interested, however, in talking to Nanamo and finding Godbert.
I had heard descriptions of its splendor, yet I never dreamed it would be so bright and inviting. And gaudy.
It's Godbert.
No, I couldn't possibly. I did not come here to fritter away the royal coin. Godbert will be expecting us. Come, let us head directly to the lounge and ignore these gaudy temptations.
I'm psychic. I must be. How else do I keep calling all this? Oh my goodness. Wow. Godbert flashing his sack to the world here. Wow. That is hands down something he would make.
I believe this is where we are to meet Lord Mandeville. Shall we sit while we await his coming?
Oh, thank goodness. At least he's actually wearing clothes. Oh crap. I do not remember Godbert's voice. Well, just to start from scratch then. My apologies, Your Grace. I have kept you waiting. You need something a little more jovial.
No apologies are necessary, Godbert. My request was sudden, and you were kind to make yourself available at such short notice.
When my son's good friend and the Sultana herself comes calling, there is no more important engagement.
As to the purpose of my visit, I would have your thoughts on how the Crown might best aid the refugees residing in Thanalan. You are aware, I am sure, that many of Alamigo's displaced sons and daughters long to return to their newly liberated homeland, and you are also aware of how they will suffer without shelter and work to sustain them. I would use our nation's wealth to spare them that suffering. What advice have you for me in the matter of how it might best be distributed?
Yes. The unusual circumstance of our meeting, and your Grace's choice of companion, would suggest to me a desire for an honest and unvarnished opinion. I shall give you one. My advice to you is, stop. Taxing Uldar's wealth to save Alamigan refugees is a terrible, terrible idea.
You oppose my proposition?
Most emphatically, I agree with your Grace that the refugees must have housing and employment. But what profit is there for Uldar in this arrangement?
Profit? After all you have done for Gyabani's displaced, I thought you the very last person to seek to benefit from their misfortune.
Forgive me, your Grace, but you appear to be laboring under a misapprehension. It is a fine endeavor to support one's fellow man. I fear, however, that your stance is one born of pity. Your intent is to save the refugees, is it not? For all our potential, we are indolent creatures by nature. If unconditional charity is all we know, then we begin to rely upon it, to expect it. And then we must consider Uldar's own poor and downtrodden. Should they hear of your spending the nation's coin, not to improve their lot, but to nurture the distant citizens of Alamigo, it is unlikely they will applaud your generosity. Surely it is not your Grace's intention to foster new resentments, but to spread goodwill. So what do you suggest instead?
Indeed. Then any support I pledge to the refugees must promote self-sufficiency, whilst also serving the interests of the people of Uldar.
Exactly so. Such an arrangement will create a far more equitable relationship with the returning Alamigans, even as it generates the revenue required to win the approval of your subjects. Damn. Who knew Godbert was so damn smart?
You have given me much to ponder, Lord Mandeville. I thank you for your candor.
Good. This actually went better than I thought it would. Even if it did turn a little dark for a second. Anyway, that takes care of a Sultana's duty. What's next? I'm assuming we're still hanging out with Nanamo as soon as the quest rolls over. A Sultana's resolve.
Profit? The thought never even crossed my mind. But standing about lamenting my naivety will not do anyone any good. I shall consider my lesson learned and press on. Dekumon, are you perchance acquainted with any successful merchants? If my attempt at philanthropy is obliged to reap a profit, it would seem wise to consult someone with a knack for business.
I have one, but I'm loath to suggest him.
Ordinarily, I would not trust any agent to the East Aldana Trading Company, but you hold this Hancock fellow in high esteem. I am content to be led by you. You may repay my faith by journeying to distant Kugane and speaking with him on my behalf.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you probably, don't want to be making the trip to Kugane. Doubly so since you'd have to go the hard way.
Eager though I am to visit those shores, I have not the leisure for a lengthy sea voyage. Now, assuming you will travel as adventurers are wont to do, I shall await your report by the Aetheryte in Uldar. A fair journey to you, Dekumon, and a swift one, if you please.
Don't worry, I'll be quick. I'm half surprised Tataru's not here waiting for me.
Dekumon! To what do I owe the pleasure? Are you here on business?
Business, my friend, business.
I beg your pardon? Her Grace, the Sultana, would have my opinion on how best to invest the wealth of Uldar. Oh my goodness, I have no words. My dear Dekumon, I have you to thank for this recognition, I'm sure. And I am flattered that you came to me, truly flattered. But why settle for a lowly apprentice when you could have the master? Upon matters of profit, there is not a living soul better qualified to advise her Grace than Chairman Lolorito, a man whose morning exertions are said to fill his garderobe with gold. I should be happy to arrange a meeting for you. Say, at the Scion's former headquarters in Thanalan. The Waking Sands would seem a suitably neutral venue for negotiations, don't you think? Very well, Dekumon, and may your dealings prove fruitful.
Ugh, I didn't want to have to bring Lolorito into this, but fine. Of course, I gotta go talk to Nanamo first. Well, this didn't go the way I wanted it to.
Welcome back, Dekumon. Did your merchant friend have any useful advice to share?
Yeah, it kicked me up the ladder.
With Lolorito? And you agreed to this? I am well aware of his standing in the field of business, but I had hoped to keep the Monetaris at arm's length, and him in particular. Nay, I cannot live in fear of the man. I must learn how to treat with him if I am to rule Ul'dah effectively. I could always have him beheaded too. Very well, I will meet with Lolorito. Let us go on ahead to the Waking Sands and prepare for his coming.
Wonder if Uranjay will be there. Oh, wow. I didn't even have to walk here. You teleported me. Oh, how sweet, game. Thank you.
So this is where the Scions was congregated. I have had many tales, but never had the occasion to visit. To work then. The hour of the meeting draws near, and I would gather my thoughts. Pray see to it that we have the appointed room to ourselves.
Ah. I kind of thought we'd be using the solar, but all right.
A personal summons from the Scions. This must be important business indeed. Though, if it concerns anything so underhand as an assassination, I fear I can be of little help.
Oh, shut up. Smart ass. Take a seat. The Sultana will be with you shortly. Is she making fun of him with the mask?
You have made your point. It is indeed unsettling to find oneself seated across from an impassive mask.
Oh, damn.
There, would this better please your grace? Or should I address you as Lady Lilira?
Ah, that's how you pronounce that. I mean, to be fair to Nanamo, the hair is a dead giveaway.
Nay, the deception has served its purpose. I am glad to see you found amusement in my little jest, Lord Lolorito, but shall we proceed to the business at hand?
By all means. I must say I am most eager to hear your proposal.
Simply put, I would aid the refugees camped in Thanalan in their efforts to return to Alamigo.
And now we just need to figure out how.
The reparations you paid in the wake of your earlier misdemeanors will be used to fund the endeavor, together with the fortune seized from the late Teleji Adeleji's estate.
There's some irony there.
But this plan is not intended to benefit the displaced alone. I would make of this an investment which shall enrich Ul'dah and Alamigo both.
She's listening and learning.
And who better to consult on matters of profit than the wealthiest man in all of Thanalan? I beseech you then, Lord Lolorito, share with us your mercantile wisdom.
Twould seem your grace has matured beyond acts of earnest yet misplaced charity. Pray tell me more.
Well, it took a little advice from Godbert, but yes. Now, let's see if we can't hash out a real plan.
To summarize, in return for facilitating the repatriation of refugees and assisting in the establishment of new industry in Alamigo, you ask that a proportion of all subsequent profits be promised to Ul'dah. I am impressed, Your Grace. 'Tis an elegant solution. albeit one lacking certain crucial details, specifically which industry and where.
Well, that's where you come in, Lolorito.
How swiftly you identified the weakness in my plan, just as I knew you would. Your travels have taken you across the length and breadth of Gear Abania, and you know the land far better than I.
That's true.
Which of the settlements you visited would best provide a home for our refugees? Which has the greatest potential to flourish, given the appropriate investment?
Interesting thought. Well, there's Roger's Reach, there's Alagana, Alagiri, the Saltery. I'm gonna say Alagahana.
Yes, a quarry town certainly does carry the potential for profit. At least it would do were it situated anywhere near a lucrative market. It would cost more to transport the materials than they are worth, in my humble opinion.
All right, well, let's try one of the other two then. How about Alagiri?
Yes, if a stable trade route can be established between Uldar and Alamigo, then Alagiri would once more become an important waypoint. But while such growth would greatly benefit its current residents, I'm afraid it could sustain little beyond that.
Fine. Clearly it's the Saltery then. Clearly you want me to say the Saltery.
Ah, yes, that desolate little village on the shore of Loch Seld. I know the Saltery and its products well. The Imperial invasion brought an end to their more widespread distribution, much to the dismay of many a wealthy gourmand, myself included. Salt has ever been a transformative ingredient, and in this instance, I dare say, it could transform a modicum of effort into a mountain of gil.
The local citizens will need to be consulted, of course, but I trust the East Aldenar Trading Company can be relied upon to provide its assistance in negotiating a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Naturally, Your Grace. I shall dispatch representatives well versed in the extraction of this white gold and wring every last ounce of profit from its production. The Loch's bounty will contribute to Alamigo's enrichment, whilst easing the burden on the bull's aching shoulders. Just as Your Grace desired.
God damn it, he is too smart for his own good.
A deal is struck then.
Well. Good. Still want to kill him though. All right.
I fear it will be many years before I feel comfortable taking part in such negotiations. But I shall not complain. We have piqued Lolorito's interest and secured his invaluable expertise. Thank you, Dekumon. I could not have done it without you.
Oh, no. No, I didn't do anything other than just facilitate. That's all. Securing the Saltery. Sounds like that's where I'm headed next.
Our course is decided. I shall return to the palace and have my ministers begin work on implementing the particulars of the plan. If I could prevail upon you one more time, Dekumon, I would ask that you convey the details of our negotiations to Commander Hext on your return to Alamigo.
No problem.
My thanks again. Together we have laid the groundwork for an endeavor which promises to benefit the peoples of Alamigo and Uldar both.
Well, that's true. All right, time to head back and go bug lease. Boy, you guys got the whole crowd here.
Dekumon, you're back. Did Nanamo... sorry. Are you allowed to talk about your audience with the Sultana?
Yes, I'm more than willing to talk to the Sultana and about her.
So, Raubahn says he's going to return to Uldar, but she isn't sure he wants to. That is something we don't know, but I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping our refugees come home. And this plan to revitalize the Saltery does make a lot of sense. Quite how you convinced her to seek Lolorito's help is another question. After all that has happened, he is the very last person I would expect her to turn to for advice. But, on a more practical note, Lys, assuming the interim government elects to accept Uldar's proposal, I have one caveat I should like you to include in the bargain. Alamigo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investment. We have a fortune at our disposal after all, and allowing Uldar to provide the entirety of the capital would afford Lolorito far too much control. Honestly, Alphino, it's like Kugane never happened. What exactly does a ruthless profiteer have to do to earn your trust? But yes, you do make a good point. First things first though, we need to discuss this proposal with the Saltery's residents. Whisker, how do you fancy explaining the Sultana's plan to your grandfather? I'd like to hear what Walt thinks of the idea before agreeing to anything.
Right away, Commander. Would you mind coming along, Dekumon? I might need you to fill in the details.
Then I shall come as well. Should Walt wish to discuss figures, my knowledge of the nation's finances may prove useful. Also, I counted all the gold while we were down there.
Alright, let's go bug the Saltery. Unfortunately, I completely forgot what Viscar's voice actually sounds like, so he gets a new one. Well, looks like the gang's all here.
What manner of mischief brings you youngins to old Walt this time, eh?
They want to rebuild the Saltery, Grandad. Dekumon, tell him about the deal. Ah, Jesus. Big old lizard butt there. Don't worry.
Oh, bugger me. Never had the coin or the hands to put the place back to how it was. But it sounds like that's about to change. There's just one small wrinkle in your plan. Doesn't account for all the nasties queuing up to eat anyone who goes near the shore.
I see I am needed.
The king used to send soldiers to cull the buggers, but the Imperials weren't about to help the likes of us.
Hey, don't worry, Grandad. We'll take on all that. Commander Hext has been talking about staffing up regular patrols, and I'm sure she'd assign me to the lock if I'm asked.
I'd appreciate that, Miss Gar, my lad. Truly I would. So, does this mean you've gotten better with that blade of yours?
Average training, but mostly to kill Imperials. You've some experience in hunting monsters, don't you, Dekumon? Think you could cast an eye over a few of the local beasties and teach me how to deal with them? Sure. Let's not waste any time then. I'll see you by the lock.
Whilst you are busy attending to the local fauna, I shall have Master Walt explain to me exactly what is required to restore the Saltery to its former glory. Good hunting.
Good hunting indeed, huh? Alright, where am I going? I am literally not going far. I just have to get to the other side of this, swing around, and there's Whiskar waiting for me.
Right then, Dekumon. I've got a spyglass here you can use to take a closer look at these pests. Once you've got their measure, you can tell me what to do, and we'll see how well I get on.
Search your surroundings for yabbies. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out, target a yabby and inspect it. Alright, let's see what we got. Well, odds are good this is the old yabby. Right? What am I looking for? Don't touch the tail. Discover the yabby's weak point. Where the devil am I supposed to be looking here? Oh, hold on. I saw something. There it is. Is Yapper. Dude's got a glass jaw? The yabby's entire body is protected by a hard carapace, but the undersides of its head looks soft and vulnerable. Aye, looks like you found a yabby. They say hitting the shell's like smacking a rock. Any suggestions? Yeah, glass jaw. Aim for the soft underside of its head. Kinda wanted to tell him to just hit the thing harder, but still. Vulnerable under the head, are they? Right then, wish me luck. And he gets eaten. Aw, I wish they'd actually show this. Well, apparently that worked. All right, what now?
Thanks, Dekumon.
I did just as you told me, and that wavekin went down like a sack of potatoes. Let's find something else. Oh god, he's got a taste for blood now. Alright, well now what are you looking at? I think I can handle the yabbies now, so we should try something different. What else is out there? What are we looking for now? Sorry about that, my phone for some reason was acting up. The hell is this thing? Oh, that was easy. Feebad's eyeballs. I mean, to be fair, most things do not like them when they get sacked in the eyes. The Feebad's hands are large and powerful, but destroying its crystallized core should render the salt golem inanimate. You sense power pulsating from behind its brow. A Feebad. How do I defeat one of those? Destroy the core within its brow. Just hit it really, really hard as you can. No, good advice is good advice. Don't be a dick. Inside its head, is it? I'll try to stab it right between the eyes then. And here he goes again. Look, just because I tell you where the respawn is doesn't mean you instantly know how to kill these things. Oh, okay, never mind. I guess it's he's so derpy looking. Well, that definitely went better than I thought it would. It's not easy. Fighting with the Liberator Alamigo, watching your every damn move. But I got the job done. Thanks for the advice, Dekumon. I feel a lot better prepared for my patrols now. Any road, we should head back to the Saltery before Grandad starts to worry. I've been snipped into pieces and fed into a Yabby's hatchlings. Oh, there was no gap there, but oh well. Here's the crew. I see you've turned in one piece. Dead with those beasties then, did you? Ah, fought them myself. After a bit of instruction from Dekumon here, like. Once I've shared what I've learned with the others, we should have no trouble keeping the shoreline clear. Good lad. A fine young man you've become, Whiskar. A fine young man indeed. Too often of late, I hear tales of folks over in the city, drunk on victory and hungry for revenge, their heads stuck firmly in the past. But we need to set our sights on the future, on things which will improve our lot. Things like getting the Saltery ready to welcome our long-lost countrymen. Good head on you guys' shoulders. Alright, Alphino, what the heck's going on next? A blissful arrival? Eh. What is this?
It seems Whiskar has the Saltery's security well in hand. I, meanwhile, have discussed the next steps with Master Walt and completed my inspection of the site. It's a mess. With a little work, the vacant buildings here could be made into very presentable dwellings.
Message from General Alden. Yes? Apologies for the interruption, sir, but the General would speak of you at your earliest convenience. What's up?
Do not feel obliged to wait around on my account. I will remain here to hammer out the fine details with Walt and act as an intermediary with our business partners in Uldar. You should go. Your business stuff is boring anyway.
General Alden asked me for you to wait by the main gate in Alamigan Quarter. My apologies again, sir. Fare you well. Wonder what Raubahn wants. Oh, the big meeting. I almost forgot about it. So you get to sit here, relax, and enjoy the night sky.
Apologies for the wait.
No big deal.
People are screaming for the butcher's blood again. No sooner have we broken up one mob than another forms. Thankfully, all have been amenable to reason, thus far. But it is no concern of yours.
Yeah, kind of is. Feels like I should be, at least.
We must speak of the men Arenvald and his comrades apprehended in the peaks.
By their uniforms, the captives were first judged to be Imperial troops. But after further investigation, their true identities came to light. I dare say you remember Yuyuhasi and Laurentius, the fugitives who conspired with Captain Ilberd in the Crystal Brave's betrayal.
Oh.
Aye, well, it would seem they followed him all the way to the wall. It was they who orchestrated the slaughter of the Resistance fighters prior to the Griffin's infernal ritual.
Shit.
Were it in your hands, how would you punish these men?
Well, I would resummon Shinryu and feed them to him. But, guess that's off the table. Their lives would be forfeit. Execution is not the answer. I don't know. I've never been one to just kill out of hand. No, once they're caught, make them earn it. You know, make them work.
You would spare these animals. Yours is a more merciful brand of justice than mine. In any event, I thank you for your honesty. When the time comes for the Alliance to pass judgment, I'll see that your opinion is heard.
Look, I can't stand these two idiots, but I'm not one for killing in outright cold blood. All right? Now, if, say, someone were to cut the chains and these try to run, well, then they're screwed.
Well, that concludes our business here. But there is more I would say. Walk with me.
Yeah, sure, man. What's up? Planning on leaving Eldad, staying here in Alamigo. That would be my idea.
I bear a share of the blame for Ilbert's atrocities.
Oh.
Had I openly supported the cause of Alamigan liberation, he might not have felt driven to do what he did.
The dude was a fanatic.
Things could have been different, and I'm sorry they aren't.
What Ilbert did was not your fault. Not even close, Raubahn. Exactly.
But even after all that has happened, my homeland is free. With the Scions and the Alliance at their side, my countrymen have reclaimed what many thought lost forever. Under her new leadership, I have every confidence that Alamigo will emerge from the shadow of the Empire and rise once more to greatness.
Dude, you sound like you're not part of this, and I call BS.
Which means my work here is done. Soon, I will return to Uldar and take my place at the Sultana's side.
Pippin, you and I are gonna have to talk some sense into this man.
Father,
I'll not deny there's a part of me that wants to stay. The same part that contemplated renouncing my rank and joining you as a wandering sellsword.
Shit, man, that would have been a story. Raubahn and the Warrior of Light. That'd been one hell of a tale.
But I pledged my blade to Nanamo, and I will not betray that oath.
Yeah, but what if she were willing to release you from it?
is this truly what you want, Father?
It is. Ever has my sword been hers to command, and ever shall it remain. Thank you for lending an ear. When all the rest are clamoring for me to stay, I trust you'll send me on my way.
Are you kidding? I'm gonna drag you back here by your bootstraps. Just gotta get Nanamo out here to talk some sense into him. Then we'll see how it goes.